Good morning, my name is Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. So we're going to do a book haul because we are long overdue for one, and there's a new Barnes & Noble closer to home. So we're going to talk about those few things. Now first let's talk about Barnes & Noble because we're going to. It is closer to home and I have a feeling, no, I just know me, if I have a bad day, I will be going there after work. But knowing my kids, they're not going to give me a bad day. I'm just going to go there just to go there. And that's really what's going to happen. Let's start with Lucy Foley's new book, The Midnight Feast. Now, this takes place at a manor house where we discover that there's been there's a body. And then we find out how the characters are connected to each other. And then I already read this. I had a lot of questions. Because birds. That's all I can say. Birds everywhere. And I'm just thinking, what in the world? I will get to most of that later in a different video. But it was enjoyable. Not what I was expecting, but yeah. Now, then we have Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. Now, this takes place basically in the backyard years ago. And these two best friends are camping in the backyard, and one of them goes missing. And the other one, years later, is trying to find out what happened. He's trying to remember that night, and we're following him as he slowly starts to remember. Next, we have The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Now, this was very well known over Book Talk, and that's how I found it, and it's been on my radar for quite a bit. And this is about I forgot her name. Jeannie, who is now taking over her Aunt Dot's cafe, and we're following her adventures through town and love interest with Logan. And there's going to be 2-3 more books. I have no idea. They're coming out later this year, and I will be getting my hands on them as soon as possible. They will most likely be on my Christmas list. Just saying. And the next one is The Mystery of 3/4 by Sophie Hannah. Now, this is basically my favorite detective ever, Hercule Poirot. So, little backstory here. This author has brought Hercule Poirot back to life. And this is the third book that we're following. And it's new mysteries. New outcome. And I'm still trying to figure out, because I'm used to, what was his name? Hastings and is it Job? I cannot think of his name, helping Mr. Poirot. And now we have Churchill, which I'm just kind of, it's enjoyable. But, next we have a series that I technically already read. I just wanted the physical copies. And that is the Whispers of Words series. There's currently 9 books. So we have Littered with Trouble, Tabby or Not Tabby, Lead a Scene, Trouble with the Claw, as they try to start falling over, The Tale of Woe, A Whisker of Danger, pyramid scheme, The Fear of the Meow, A Bad Feline, all by Aaron Scott. Now we are following Lou, who is the bookstore owner and rescuer of cats, and we are following her in this cozy mystery series in which she discovers a lot of interesting things going around the town. And I have just loved being in this series in the town of Buttons, and I cannot wait for the release of the next book, which is going to be later on this month. I believe it's called Dangerous, or don't quote me on that, I have to go look. I think it's Dangerous Information. And yeah, love this series. It's on Kindle Unlimited, so this was on my actual Christmas list. I make it in advance, and I wasn't expecting anyone to buy it quite soon because I did not buy it. Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. The next book we have is Before Your Memory Fades, and this is in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. And I got the third, and I for some reason did not order the second or the fourth. So girl with the doofus, I know. But basically you have to return. You can go anywhere you want in the cafe, anytime you want, but you have to return before the coffee gets cold. So we're going to be reading this quite soon, and hopefully get the other book in between. But that won't be anytime soon, I don't think. Anyway, I've been seeing this book over different platforms, and I finally was curious enough to pick it up. This is The Librarian of Crooked Lane by C.J. Arthur, and we are following Sylvia, who is a librarian, and she is discovering things about her father, and she discovered that she is descendant from magicians, I believe. But her family does not like to talk about her father. So we will find out more later. Abby wanted to say hi. She's a wonderful biscuit maker. She's making biscuits. You're making biscuits? One of Us Knows by Elisa Cole, and we are following Ken Nash as she's a historical preservationist, and she has multiple personalities. Best way to describe it, if I'm reading this correctly. So it can ruin her career. We're just gonna follow her, and I will let y'all know what happens later. So I ended up going to Barnes & Noble twice because I went to the original and then I went to the new one. So I got Survive the Night by Riley Sager, which takes place when George W. Bush is in the White House, and we have a serial killer, I believe, named Charlie Jordan, and that's about all I know about this. But this is going to be my go-to author whenever he publishes something else. And forgive me, my cat is in the background making noise. But yeah, I also got the newest Patricia Briggs, which is Winter Law. I forgot where I left off at this series, so there might be several more books I have to get thrift wise before I can read this. And I started this series back in high school. Oh, that's so long ago. So I have no idea what this is about, really. Well, I do, but it's been a bit. So, here's that one. And then I got Crooked House by Agatha Christie, which all I know is this it's a supposedly happy family where the man or the main guy in the household ends up dead, so they start looking at his wife. So then we ended up going to the new Barnes & Noble, which I renewed my membership on. So I got The God of the Woods. And the only reason I honestly got this is because it's a book club member pick. I believe Literally Dead book club. I think it's either October. Yeah, it's October or September. Don't quote me on that, I'm probably wrong. But this is also a Barnes & Noble book club edition, I think. So, and I have honestly no idea what this is about. So we're going to have to read it real quick. When a teenager vanishes from her summer camp. I cannot pronounce the camp. Two worlds collide. So this takes place in August of 1975, and a camp counselor discovers empty bunks. Okay, I'm kind of wondering if this is based off a real story, because I think I've heard something like this before, where a bunch of teenagers, not teenagers, younger, intermediate level, I guess, disappeared from their cabin or something like that. I might be wrong when remembering that, but I seem like I remember something like that. And this is supposed to be mystery literary fiction. Okay. And then I picked up A Talent for Murder by Peter Swanson. And I honestly picked up this book because I used to be a book of the month person, but I kind of had to let that go a little bit. But I've been seeing this as a lot of people's book of the month, and plus I honestly thought it was interesting. So this is about Martha Radcliffe, who basically spends her life alone, and she's a librarian in Maine. So we're gonna see what happens with that. And honestly, this is the first book that I picked up. It's The Love Scribe by Amy Myerson, and now I'm noticing some of the damage right here, and I'm gonna get a little irritated with myself for not knowing that earlier. So this is following Alice and his best friend, Gabby, who is reeling from a breakup. Alice writes about her heartfelt story to cheer her up while reading in a cafe. And Gabby, as bit by magic, somehow ends up meeting the man of her dreams. So, definitely gonna try that one. Now, The Pearls of Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Now, if you do not know, I really, really love anything and everything Jane Austen. So when this series started, I was gun-ho for it. So the minute I saw it, I had to grab it. So this is the third in the series, and we're following Mr. Darcy, which is Darcy and Elizabeth's son, and Miss Tilly, which for the life of me, I cannot remember. I know the show is, TV show and book is Northanger Abbey, but I cannot remember the name of the characters. But we're following their daughter and son as they solve mysteries. And if you haven't noticed already, I love mysteries, especially cozy ones. And lastly, but not least, I somehow bit my book. So I picked up Bunny by Mona Awad. I am mispronouncing that greatly. But I mainly picked this up because of Katie Carlson. That's all I can say. The only reason I picked it up. And I think there was only 2 copies, so this is one thing. So, a scholarship student who prefers the company of dark, imaginative people. Oh, shoot. So, basically, this is, I want to kind of say like a robot. The girls refer to themselves as Bunny, and it's like, that's like me saying Bunny and someone else saying Bunny at the same time. So, I hope I don't get creeped out, but I know I will. That's a good thing. So, with that concludes our book haul. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!